Alright, I'm just gonna go over these one by one. Double bass, low undertone for the whole song. There's one that's filtered later on. Alright, okay, that's enough with the double bass. Here's the orchestral kit. This is like the iconic Dothrak You're Coming, like, you know you're screwed if you hear this. Santa's Jingle Bells, just because, why not? No, it's because it's for like a high contrast, kind of gives it that like ringing, so it contrasts well with this. And then on top of that, I added this like Indo-Middle Eastern kit, just because it seemed kind of cool and adds those like mid-percussion tones that you normally wouldn't get. If you just isolate that. Pretty cool. Here's the war part of all this, taiko drums. So that's the main drum layer. Is there anything else I want to add to this? No. There is some tambourine section later on, which again will make more sense when the rest of the instrumental is covered, but here it is. Show some respect to the tambourine. I think that's all anyone wants to hear for that. Alright, enough with the percussion. Let's go to the fun stuff. So here's like a texture that's kind of just there throughout, just to make sure there's no empty noise. Yeah, pretty basic stuff. Here's some trombones. And this is for kind of filling in the gaps, like when there's that main melody of the Dothraki playing. There's some more textures here later on. And this one's pretty filtered. Let me check. Yeah, it's like a 29% cutoff, so it's both low and kind of just there in the back. There's a shift later on, it's like a different texture, you'll hear that later. There's an instrument called the Dothrak. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's kind of like the iconic Dothraki theme instrument. This is the low one that it's kind of just there in the beginning. That's how that sounds. A little something about how I got these sounds. So there's a VST called Kontakt, and it's kind of like you just import your instrument choice in here. And the thing is, I have the free version, and the sounds I found that were compatible with the free version were good enough for this, but not great. So the problem with this is I can only use this for 15 minutes at a time before it times out. So what I did was just imported the sounds I want, like this one for example, played whatever I wanted on my MIDI keyboard, and then just bounced whatever I played in place to a new thing, so it just became its own audio file. And then I can't really use these because once the audio session times out, the instrument sound just disappears. So like these sound like nothing. But what I bounced in place was this. It's a little workaround. It's honestly a pain in the ass, but it's fine. This is kind of the melody that most people know. It didn't feel punchy enough like the instrument sound that I downloaded, so I added this. It kind of gives it that like breathy kind of like that flute punch that's pretty common with that. You can isolate that. And then there's one more. Sounds pretty brutal on its own, but I promise you it's better with everything together. And then there's that little B section with the acoustic guitar in the actual soundtrack. I'll show you how it sounds just on its own. Just throw in some reverb on this to make it ring out a little more. What else did I put here? Textures. Oh yeah, this is probably my favorite counter melody, or main melody, however you want to call it, in the whole soundtrack. So it's this like really high, haunting, eerie, kind of beautiful melody. Let's hear it. And there's like a cymbal sweep here, because why not? What am I missing? I feel like I forgot something cool. Oh yeah, the French horns. Yep, I forgot the French horns, which would never be called cool, but I actually thought this was. So there was like a wobble effect I put on this to kind of make it like more warlike, like a battle French horn. I don't know, you can kind of hear it at the end of this. That was that. Alright, let's hear this all together. Here goes.